Well, I'm very honored to be here, and it's interesting. The reality of what I'm going to talk about in many ways is a history of your ancestors, because they're shared history. It's the history of my ancestors. See, I'm trying to get the way. There we go. Because in reality, what happened is that Europeans, and first the British, of course, they came to America. It's a quick history. And they populated the Northeast. And they came in cities. This happens to be Charleston. And they bounced to the Caribbean. Then they bounced up to Charleston. But it was generally the English that came. Now, the next wave, and they populated cities. We still have them today. You go to Boston, you go to Philadelphia, you get great urbanism, right? And no wonder these salty six, they're the salty five, that are really, really valued in the investment community early on. But the other history is, not talked about much, that the first wave, Western wave of immigration, were accompanied by the Scots-Irish and my German ancestors back in the 1740s. And they took the great wagon train south to North Carolina, because North Carolina had no navigable rivers, and the English planters didn't want that. But clearly others did, and they wanted to be away and free. The reason I talk about this is that it really is the root and history of America. Of course, that migration went even further west over time and gave the world basically the conception of the American cowboy, the Marlboro man, the guy who was always, there and free and independent. And we still see this today, of course, and we see it in our current politics. We have Marlboro women, such as those that are from Atlanta, know this interesting representative in the House of the U.S. And of course, they have protagonists. And this is a view. I can imagine what America looks like to those of you who sit in Western Europe, particularly in Germany, and see this great American passion playing out across the screens. But in fact, it's one that's as old as America itself. This is nothing new. Again, you had those that came from towns that inhabited the Northeast. Then we had predominantly early on, Scots, Irish, and German immigrants who came from smaller villages and towns in the rural countryside that populated the rest of the American South, and they equally spread across the country. So the interesting thing is, when you look at America today, is that the only thing that gets the airplay is what's up there. I call it the radical zone. And what's interesting, most people think of opposites like a magnet, right? One side's positive and negative, when in reality, human cultures come together.